Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, Ask Jimmy Smith. Today I'm going to be going through a topic I've been asked a bunch of questions about really over the last year and a half or so, and I've addressed in different videos, but I've never really gone into the details of how to find these generic and misbranded listings in your Amazon Seller Central account. Now, before we get into that, I do want to remind you, I actually have a contest running on this video for anyone that's interested in winning a copy of my best-selling book, Side Hustle to Full-Time Income. All you have to do is leave a comment down below and subscribe to this channel, because in the next video, when you tune in, I will announce the winner from this video in the middle of the next one. Now, let's get into this problem with these generic listings. Over the last year and a half to 2 years at this point, I've been talking about, and the Amazon seller community as a whole has been referencing the issue with generic listings from Amazon's perspective. And it's not just generic, it's also misbranded. And misbranded might be that I, as a seller, am gated in Crest toothpaste, for instance. And so I come in and I put the brand name as generic so that then I could get around this restriction. Or I put the brand name as Jimmy's Toothpaste, or Crest with a K, or something different like that. And so these misbranded listings are a problem for Amazon, because sellers are working to get around these restrictions and essentially be able to sell brand name products that they typically wouldn't be able to sell under a different brand, but they're still utilizing the real title and pictures and images in the actual listing itself. And really over the last year and a half, and specifically over the last 6 months, and even more recently over the last few weeks, Amazon has really started to crack down on just suspending sellers that have this issue in their account. And so I want to show you how to go through your Amazon seller account and be able to identify the majority of those listings. I can't say that this is foolproof, but this is the best way that I've seen and been able to do it, and also how to filter these results so that you can go through your listings in a good way to quickly find the generic listings. Now, before I get into this document that I made, because obviously I can't really show you through my account with some of the privacy there, but before I get into this account, I do want to let you know that I am not an affiliate of, but I do recommend contacting Jeff Schick at jeffschick.com. That's JEFFSCHICK.com. You can see the link below and in the description. He is a lawyer that works on behalf of Amazon sellers for account health issues that come up in your account. Done videos with him in the past. I've done webinars in my private communities with him, and he has been a great resource and a ton of knowledge and a lot of help for a lot of different sellers. So I highly recommend checking him out, putting him on retainer. He's got a what I believe is a very low monthly retainer fee. So check out his services at jeffschick.com. Additionally, if you're looking to be a part of a free community where a lot of these issues come up, with over 70,000 members in this Facebook group, all you have to do is go to bit.ly/MST group. That's for My Silent Team group. bit.ly/MST group is where you can go to join a free Facebook group where a lot of these issues are discussed and people can help each other for free. Now, let's go ahead and get into this document that I put together. You can see here I had to go through a PDF, so it's not going to be perfect, but you get the gist. So essentially, whenever you log into Amazon Seller Central, you can see up at the top left here, there's that those 3 little lines. And if you click on that top left 3 lines, you will then be taken to this, this page, essentially, that would pop up under there. Now, if you go to the reports section, that pulls up, and then you click into the inventory reports, that is where we want to go to get all of your different listings. And the reason we need all of your listings is to check for multiple different data points of things that Amazon, and specifically Amazon's bots, could be flagging in your account as an account health issue. So if you have generic listings in there under the brand, if you have misbranded items in there, there's a lot of different things that can go wrong, and so I'm going to go through a few of them here in a minute. But you want to go to inventory reports, and then you want to, under this section, click on the all listings report. So I'll zoom in here. You would click all listings report, and then whenever you click on that, essentially all you have to do is then run the report. I'll zoom back out here. Just request that report and it will download your report for you. Now, it may take up to 24 hours, I believe. Ultimately, depending on how many ASINs you have, it could be done within 5 minutes or less, or it could take hours to do if you've got a ton of different ASINs that you have to worry about. From that point, once it's ready, you'll just click on the download button, and once that's downloaded, you'll want to go to keepa.com and specifically click on the product viewer, because once you're at keepa.com, you don't want to use a product finder, because we are going to be viewing the list of ASINs that Amazon gave to us or that we downloaded in that previous report. Now, once you click into the product viewer, you're going to click on the ability to upload these ASINs. You don't want to, I guess you could theoretically just copy and paste them in here, but I just choose that text file that downloaded from Amazon. They do fairly well. I have noticed whenever you just upload it from that Amazon file, you get a little bit more errors that come up, and I'll address that in the next little the page that I have. But you could just go through and keep all of the ASINs only and then upload that, and you'd probably get less errors. But I was just trying to go for a quick way to do this. You can theoretically just upload the text file that downloads from Amazon, and you will be good to go from there. Now, you can see whenever I did that, I had 84 ASINs that did not return any results from the database. That's fine. You can keep a record of those ASINs and go through them one by one. A lot of times there might be issues that maybe it's been taken down off of Amazon already. Maybe it's a dog page on Amazon, just one of their error pages. Or in some cases, because I just uploaded that text file without actually dissecting the information for just the ASINs, I did have a lot of things in the searches that were like, it was the brand name instead of the ASIN. And so Keepa just assumed that was an ASIN, I guess, because of the amount of letters in that field. And ultimately, you can just ignore those. So I would say probably about 30 of these were actually ASINs. The rest were errors, and it does pull up exactly what those things are. But essentially, whenever you do that, then you will pull up all of your products, and you want to click on this configure column section up in the top left. Whenever you click on the configure column section, you're going to want to hide all of the columns and then only bring up these few things. Now, title and ASIN are already included, even if you hide all the other columns. But you're going to want to bring up brand, and then the next one is you're going to want to bring up manufacturer, because those are the two things we want to look at for matches or mismatches in your Amazon seller account. After doing that, you're going to click on this export button right here, and it will export a CSV file or an Excel file for you. You can see I highlighted that there for you. I chose a CSV file because I don't have Excel, and then I took the CSV file and put it onto Google Sheets because that's what I use, and that's what I'm going to show you as an example. But if you have Excel, you can just download the Excel file. It'll work great, and you're getting all active columns because you want those 4 columns that we just had selected. So it comes with the title, the ASIN, and then the brand and the manufacturer. Those are the active columns that we need. And so once you're done with that, you can pull up all of that data, and this is what that data looks like. So now you can see the title, the ASIN, the manufacturer, and the brand after I uploaded it. Now I've got a bunch of fake data, as you can tell. These ASINs don't make any sense, and these are all the same brands essentially. But at this point, now that you've got all of this data, you want to go through and you want to filter it all. And so you'll select this top thing, and it will select all of the different rows and columns, and you will click on this to filter the data. And once you filter that, you'll see the 3 green lines that pulled up. And now you can filter by brand. You can sort A to Z or Z to A, depending on if you want it sorted alphabetically or not. And you can look for different issues. Now, what I typically would recommend is sort it from A to Z to start. And you're going to see the brand that pulls up. Again, this is fake data, so don't exactly go looking for anything on here. But whenever you sort it by the brand, A to Z, then you can scroll through and scroll down to anything that has generic in your listings. And so here, this is important because you've got all these generic things. So I would want to then take all of these ASINs, go back to Seller Central and delete all of that data because ultimately you do not want these ASINs in your account anymore because Amazon is coming against you. Now, more than likely, you won't see the title over here would say generic. It would probably say something like Crest toothpaste bundle of 2 or pack of 2, right? Because like I said at the beginning of this video, sellers were utilizing the generic exemption to get around these restrictions and these issues. And so you're trying to clean up your catalog before Amazon forces your hand. So you want to delete these. You do not want to close these out of your Amazon Seller Central. You want to delete them. If you have inventory, you want to recall that inventory. You want to get rid of it because Amazon is cracking down on these. And ultimately, it's not a big deal if you have this problem. It's something that you should pay attention to right now. But Amazon is cracking down on these things, but ultimately you don't want to worry about this. This isn't like killing arbitrage like I've seen some people try to claim it will do. It is just killing off some of the listings that have been incorrectly named for years at this point, probably in Amazon's catalog. So I know it might be harsh if you have to get rid of different ASINs that you're typically used to selling, but deleting all of these generics is extremely important because these are the heavy ones that are hitting hard right now. There are some other issues. Now you can see like I've got this one, it's just a random name, but Davis is the brand, but it says generic as the manufacturer. You probably won't see that. In fact, you might even see more like Davis as the manufacturer and generic as the brand. But anything that says generic, I would get rid of personally. I would not risk it. Now, once you're done going through the generic, you're also going to want to kind of scroll through all of these brands and make sure that they match the title, because the title is supposed to have the brand name in it. And so you want to make sure that the title and the brand name match. And so one issue that you might come up with, it could be something like this. Somebody, to get around a restriction, puts in first form with an F versus first form with a PH. That is a big issue. I would most likely recommend deleting that listing because Amazon could crack down on that. Or you could see the opposite issue. Maybe you know that the brand is with a PH and they just put first form on all the different sections, and that's how they're getting around it. Obviously this is a risk. I wouldn't recommend taking it, especially if your product has a PH on it instead of the F. Ultimately, that is something to look out for. Additionally, other misspellings such as Altoids versus Altoid mints, right? These are things that people do to try to get around those restrictions. I would heavily consider deleting those listings and strictly sticking with the items that match the exact brand that it needs to be, that store brand that Amazon is going to be looking for, essentially. Anything that has misspellings, I would personally get rid of it at this point. Now, here's another one. You got like Crest toothpaste here is the brand name that is in the title of the product, but somebody has created something that called it Bob's Minty Fresh Breath, right? Because they're trying to get around the restriction. Maybe it's a branded bundle. However, if the branded bundle has Crest toothpaste as the first few words in that title, then ultimately that is going to be the brand that Amazon eventually looks for. I would highly recommend, if you did make your own branded bundle, changing around these keywords so that your brand name is the first thing that shows up. And maybe it's Bob's Minty Fresh Breath, comes with mints, and it comes with a toothpaste and comes with Crest toothpaste. Now, I'm no bundle expert, so don't take my bundling title advice, but this is something that I would look for if you've made this listing. If you have not made this listing, then I would delete it and move on to other things that probably are a better listing for you to continue to search for. We already covered this generic one. Additionally, you might see some other issues like this. So Crest is the title of the actual brand, but they put in Krest, similar to that first form example that I gave you earlier. Now, I believe that would cover all of my examples that I wanted to show you. Those types of things are the items that you want to go in and delete from your Amazon Seller Central as soon as possible. It's not something you want to wait on or think that it's okay or try to wait and sell through. It's just becoming more and more of a hassle and a headache for sellers. Now, it will change the way that we now have to source. However, there are multiple different ways to source that I cover on this channel, that I cover in private communities as well as the free communities here, that I highly recommend trying to diversify the ways that you're going to source through online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, wholesale, making your own branded bundles, etc. This is something that, yeah, it might get rid of a good percentage of your listings if you've been doing this for a while, or if you're a new seller, consider yourself lucky because you don't have to worry about this as much, except looking out for these warning flags as you are sourcing. So this is something that Amazon is cracking down on. I highly recommend checking out Jeff Schick's services so that you can have him on retainer for any account health issues that come up. Again, that link is below and in the description, but it's a very simple process that you can follow step by step. Highly recommend also going back and watching through this video to make sure that you didn't miss any steps, because all you have to do is essentially go to reports, inventory reports, all listings, download all of those listings, put them in the Keep a Product viewer, not the finder, the viewer, and then you can export all that information and go through it one by one. So if you've got 1,000 or plus SKUs, it might take a while to go through them and just double check each one to see that the brand is matching the brand that's in the title and as much as you can in the manufacturer. Also remember, some brands do have different manufacturers. I believe Crest is a P&G brand, like a Procter & Gamble brand. So you might see a different manufacturer than the brand itself. As long as the brand and the title are matching and you can verify that the manufacturer is the one that actually manufactures that brand, you should be okay. This might be a little bit confusing. Ultimately, we're in this together. This is why having a community of sellers around you is so important. If you go to the My Silent Team Facebook group I recommended earlier, bit.ly/MST group. Again, links below and in the description. That's where you can ask questions and say, hey, is this okay? Is this something that I should be looking out for? And you can see other sellers that may be dealing with some of the headaches of this before it comes to you, and you can be warned so that then you can handle these problems as they come to pass. So I hope that this video helps you and blesses you. As a reminder, I do have that contest running on this video and every video. If you leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and tune into the next video, you will see if you were the lucky winner. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.